All right, this is the last of the appendix group works. Now, let me say this. This one is the basics. So everything that's on this sheet, you need to know. This is going to be the basics that your test could cover. Okay? Now, you're going to have a couple of harder ones that aren't on this sheet, but this is the basics that will allow you to do any of them. All right? The first thing is to copy this triangle using any method. And so I'm going to label my vertices A, B, C. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to copy my base. And I'm going to pick where A prime is. Right, so there's A prime. Then I measure AB. So AB. Go over to A prime and mark. And so this is now B prime. All right. Now, I can do this by side, side, side. So that's one side. I can measure AC. So here is AC. I can measure CB. And here is CB. And so this is C prime. And I have copied this triangle using side, side, side. Now, on the previous things, we've done side, angle, side. We've done in the notes, it's angle, side, angle, or different things, okay? So now I've done one with side, side, side. To me, that's the easiest. All right? Construct a perpendicular bisector and label the midpoint. So here is A, here is B. So we're going to go a little bit bigger than half. We draw a mark above and a mark below. From A, a mark above, and I didn't go high enough, and a mark below, and I didn't go low enough. Okay, using the same dummy arc, connect my two things. That is my perpendicular bisector, and this is my midpoint. All right. Construct a perpendicular bisector through a point. So here is A. Here is M. That's going to be my midpoint. I'm going to measure AM. I'm going to mark it on the other side of M. Then I'm going to go a little bit bigger than AM. Mark above. Mark below. Move to the new mark. Mark above. Mark below. Go back because we didn't go far enough. Connect. And I have a perpendicular through M. Inscribe the triangle, circumscribe the triangle, label the circumcenter. Circumscribe means, this means perpendicular bisectors. Okay. So I'm going to go, and I'm going to use my longest side, so I go a little bit bigger than half. Right? Don't have enough room. Okay, so this is going to give me the perpendicular bisector for this side. Okay, now for the other two sides, I'm going to have to make my compass a little smaller because I just don't have the room to do it on this sheet of paper. I think I'm going to actually have to do 3 different lengths. So this is the perpendicular bisector for the second side. Okay, and notice that my circumcenter is going to be way out there. Now I'm going to do a perpendicular bisector for the third side, making a still third different length. Okay, and they don't quite line up all at the same spot. So this is going to be my circumcenter. I take from my circumcenter to a vertice, and I make a circle. All right. and I'm close here and I'm close here. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I've got all the work, so I'm good. All right, page 1. Divide the line segment into 3 equal parts. So I'm going to draw just any line here. I make a dummy arc, and I'm going to make it fairly, I don't want it to be huge, but I don't want it to be big. I'm going to do it 3 times, moving up the line. Okay. I like to connect this side. You don't have to. I like to connect it. Again, I take that dummy arc. I'm going to measure it from B. Okay. Then I'm going to measure this length that I just connected. I'm going to move down here and I'm going to mark it. Move down and mark it. Go from that point that I made and mark. So 1, 2, and 3 are my 3 equal sides. All right. Copy this angle. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a ray. Okay. Draw a dummy arc around the angle I want to copy. Take that same dummy arc to my ray and copy it there. Okay. Measure across that dummy arc from one ray to the other. Go to my base, measure across that. And there is my angle. Bisect an angle. And I just dropped my straight edge. Okay. Bisect an angle. I'm going to make a dummy arc around the angle. I'm going to move and make my dummy arc from each of those vertices. And that is my angle bisector. Construct a kite that is not a rhombus. It can be a convex kite or a concave kite. Draw a dummy arc around my angle. I'm going to open my compass wider, go to the ray, make a dummy arc, go to the other ray, make a dummy arc. And I have made a convex kite. Label vertices A, B, C, and D. Okay? If I wanted a concave kite, then I would go the other direction or make it smaller than my first dummy arc. All right? And I have one more page. Right? Inscribe the triangle. So I'm going to make a dummy arc around each of these. Now I like to make them kind of small so that they don't interfere with each other. So around each vertice. So here's one. I'm making angle bisectors. Yikes, I don't think that one worked well. I think I shifted. Okay, so there's one angle bisector. There's 2 angle bisectors. Three angle bisectors. So now I'm going to draw in each of these angle bisectors. The in-center is the intersection of these angle bisectors. Okay, so again, my in-center is going to be about right there, depending on what you look at it. I'm then going to go from the in-center to a side, and I really want the perpendicular. So what I'm going to do is I really want to make it a perpendicular through this point. So in order to do that, I'm going to go a little bit bigger than the point. I'm going to go above and below. I want the perpendicular of the side, so that wasn't big enough. Okay, we'll do it. Trying to think of the best way to do this. Okay, so let's do the perpendicular of the long side. Okay, so I'm going to make my little arc across here. I'm going to go out here and make my perpendicular. And so my perpendicular for the long side is going to be, that goes through this point, is going to be here. So that's my perpendicular. So when I make my circle, I want to measure from here to where that perpendicular crosses, to here. Okay? And so that's where I'm going to measure my circle to make my end center. Okay, and this, I don't typically make the perpendicular to find the side, but because this circle is so obtuse, I need to make sure that that is perpendicular to the side. And you can tell that my circle wasn't quite big enough and it didn't go to the sides, but it's close. Okay, it's close. Use this point and the line segment to construct a parallelogram. So you want to measure the long line segment. All right, so this is A, B, and I measured AB, and this is D. Now I want to measure AD. Okay, and I want to go to B and mark it. So this point right here is going to be C. And then I want to connect everything to make my parallelogram. There you go. All right. Use the line segment to construct a hexagon. So I measure the line segment. So this is going to be the length of my side of the hexagon. So in order to do that, I'm going to make a circle with that radius. Okay. Now I'm going to mark the center of my circle. So this is the center of my circle. I'm going to go to my edge and just mark it, move and mark, move and mark, move and mark, move and mark, move and mark. Now officially you could use the point from where you started. I like to just move and mark because it makes it more exact. Then I draw in my hexagon. Again, the reason I draw a cross is because those two sides are parallel and I don't have to move my paper as much. And that is a hexagon. Okay, these few pages, I think it's 3 pages, are the basics. These are things that you need to know that will be considered as easy things, or the inscribe and circumscribes are harder, are medium level constructions. The break a line segment into 3 parts is starting to be a harder level construction. Parallelogram would be an easy to hard, an easy to medium. So you need to make sure that you know how to do everything on this group work for your test. All right, thank you. Let me know if you have any questions.